So I also heard you was a published poet. Also, can you tell me about that?
Oh, yes, sir. When I went to Virginia Tech, Nikki Giovanni was my teacher actually, and she took a great liking to me, and she's a legend. So like just being able to take her class and learn from her and study under her was like a blessing, man. It really was. She actually told me that I reminded her, my writing style reminded her of Tupac. She's very
Mm,
close friends with Afeni Shakur. Like her and
right.
Tupac's mom were like super close friends. So when she told me that, it was like that kind of put a different perspective on me with the whole songwriting thing. It's like, hold on, I could maybe do this, like I could maybe do this. It's funny how sometimes the right words from the right people can kind of,
Mhm.
help steer you where you need to be, you know what I'm saying? Or at
Real
least
talk.
open your mind up to the possibilities. So long story short, it was actually just an essay for her. It was an assignment, and I wrote a poem. And freaking about 2 weeks later, she was like, "Hey, would you mind if I publish this in my 100 greatest African American poets?" I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh my God, no,
he
I would not
said,
mind."
"Oh, he said, oh my God, no."
What? Of course not. Please, Nikki Giovanni, please put me in that book. So yeah, man. So that happened. I'm actually working on my own poetry book now. I'm just trying to
Mm.
wait for the right time to strike, but I have a bunch of poems in there ready to go. I just want it to be right, so
I got
that
you.
should be fun.
So how
Yeah.
did you get your role in Ballers? So I was even
Man.
just watching it again. Your team, they try to sleep with your mom and all
Oh
this.
man, I can't believe him. I can't
How
believe
how did you get that role?
it. This is crazy, man. I actually I taped for that and I was living in Rochdale. Um and my sister actually read with me. It was great. My sister, Wantisha Harris, she read with me. And I just had an audition. It just felt like a regular audition, and I taped for Alonzo, and then maybe like a week or so later, Sheila Jaffe hit me up, and she's like, the head casting for that show, and she's like, they love what you did, they want to see you, do like do another one, like another scene, just to make sure, but it's looking really good for you, man. And lo and behold, friggin' a month later, I'm in Miami staying at the Lowe's Hotel on Brickell, like shooting scenes with Denzel's son and The Rock, and John David, and like Omar Miller. It was just it was a blessing, bro. It was crazy, man. That was my first real taste of like a crazy budget project, because HBO, the sky's the limit with them, so they flying you first class, putting you in 5-star hotels, and you got drivers and shit. I'm like, oh man, I could get used to this.
So
This is
did you get to kick it with the Rock and everything?
Yeah, man, I definitely did. I mean, Rock is he's one of the most solid people I was able to kind of build with, honestly. I mean, at that point, he was already humongous, but he was just extremely humble, man. He was extremely humble and he was a very hard worker. Like even when we were shooting, he would always wake up at least 2 hours earlier to work out, and then like on set, he had like a bus and like a trailer kind of thing. And one of them had his gym, but he would also like have his family on set with him sometimes, and just you could tell us how he kept his grounding, how he kept his anchor. He's an
Mm,
extremely balanced guy, man. He didn't really let the industry get to him much, and I really
yeah.
appreciated that. And just talking to him and building with him. And even back then, this is like, I don't know, maybe 15, 16, but I remember him telling me he was booked up into 2023, and that's the first time I've actually heard firsthand somebody being booked 8 years in advance. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here trying to find my next job in a few months. Like this man is booked in 2023. Like what are we
Eight
talking
years.
about?
Come on.
Yeah, come on, bro. And we're not talking about no little budgets. Like, you know what I'm saying? This man is
Yeah,
booked 10, $20 million pot,
it's
payday.
crazy. Like
You
loan me
booked,
$10 now.
yeah, come on, bro. 8 years in advance.
That's
So
crazy.
that's crazy, man. So that's been a goal ever since then. Like let me get booked out 2 years at least. You know,
So also, how did you get your role in Power?
Power, man. That was a fun situation. I think the casting director for that was man. She would kill me if I got her name, man. Oh my goodness. Hold on, man. Let me look this up right now.
She gonna
She's
get
the
on your
homie
head,
too.
Antoine. She
Oh
gonna
my
get on your head.
goodness. She's
Gonna
the
say I'm the
homie.
homie, but you can't remember my name.
Oh my goodness. Hold on, man. I think Christine Cromer.
See that?
Pristine
He got it
chroma.
right. He got it right.
Let's
Don't be,
go.
don't be,
And I didn't even have
don't
to
be.
Google it. I
See, don't
didn't
get
even have to
mad at
Google it. Pristine chroma. It was great. How did I get that one? I honestly just went in there and I read and I read for the opportunity. And then maybe like a few days later, she called me back in. It's like they love you. They want to, have you do like a producer's read or whatever like that, and then a producer's table read. And I went to the producer's table read. I read with everybody around the table, and it was like they booked me. The role of the character was really only supposed to be on one. He was only supposed to be on one episode, but they liked what I did, so they gave me I think 2 or 3 more episodes. But at the end of the day, 50 was like, yeah, at the end of it, you're gonna die though. Uh, so I was like, all
Hey
right.
man, you got to die, man.
Hey man, I had to die, bro. I mean, it's better to have 3 episodes than one. No, I
Yeah.
take it.
I
Um,
was 50 Cent.
man, he's super cool. The crazy thing is, he's from around the way, so
Mm.
growing up, getting to see his growth was crazy. And then he actually took a whole bunch of people from around the way to see his movie, Get Rich or Die Trying. And like one of my friends, Miguel, was real cool with Banks, so it was really cool to just kind of see his growth from then to where he was. And first day on set, I got to speak to him for a little bit and build with him. And again, another extremely humble brother, and hardworking and just super focused, man. Just super focused, man. Whenever you could be around people like that, it's inspiring. It really is, because you kind of start thinking a little bigger, like you start thinking bigger, man. Sometimes you just want to get a job, and then you start thinking, I could create jobs.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I could, I
Definitely.
could put my own stuff out here. I could make my own ecosystem. So
I
that's what I'm in
had
the process trying
I
to do.
had I had learned that when I had met Spike Lee because I write and direct movies too, and
Fire.
it was like epiphany. He came to my college and was speaking, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody was rushing to give him their stuff, and I was like, it was like you got to create your own. He got his own family to do this and
Mm-hmm.
all this, so you got to create your own way and make your own thing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was
Mm-hmm.
real though. But
Mm-hmm.
so I want to move on to the breaks, which is my favorite thing. How did you get that, and how did it feel being the leading man now for the first time,
Man, oh man, bro.
playing on?
Man, that was man, Jesus, bro. Again, auditioning. Again, I auditioned for it, and I'm definitely forgetting this casting director's name.
I see. Looking
Oh
at you,
man,
Antoine. They're gonna be
trying
mad.
trying to get me in trouble, bro. But but I auditioned for her, and she liked what I did, and she brought me to Viacom, because this is when it was a VH1 show, so all the auditions and the final table reads happened in the Viacom building. Um, so actually, Dan Charnas and Steve Mann were the ones who were executive producing, so they came in and they casted for it as well. So, but anyway, long story short, I did my first reading as the character. They liked me, but they liked me for 2 roles, which is cool. But when your mind is really set on one role, you almost don't even
Exactly.
want to hear about the other role.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I said that I was just gonna read for the and I'll never forget the day. It was like a Thursday, and it was like a little dreary outside. And I like to get to auditions like really, really early. And this was kind of like maybe like my first big producer session for like a show where I'm gonna be a lead on. So there was people watching from LA, and we was in a room with the people from New York. It was crazy. And I went to this park. It was like a few blocks away from Viacom, and I just said my prayers, and I just kind of was just going through the scenes. I had my headphones on. I was just going over the raps. We had to do "Can I Live." They gave us a rap to do. It was "Can I Live." That was the rap that sealed the deal. So like I'm in the park. I'm the only adult basically in the park. There's a bunch of little kids on swings and shit, and I'm walking around angry. Excuse my French. I'm,
Like, hey,
I'm, walking, I'm walking around angry, doing my rap in my head, like walking in circles and stuff, just getting locked in. And I went up in there, man, and I did the scene. They said, okay, we love what we saw. Take 10 minutes, and we want you to come back in, and we want you to do the rap. And man, my mindset on that one, man, it was just a different level of it was a different level of confidence and preparation on that one. To be honest with you, like I didn't feel by any means that anybody else was going to get that job. It almost felt personal. Like,
he's like, this is
not,
mine.
yeah, this is mine, bro. You're not taking this from me. You're not taking this from me. I went in there and did the raps, and literally, I didn't even make it to the train station. before my agent called me. I was like, "Yeah, you on, bro? You got it, bro. You
Man, that
got
character was so hilarious. Tape.
it." Yeah.
Niggas tape. Like scary, bro. He was scary. And then look when he was watching, back get beat up and stuff, sitting back
Oh,
at the wall. Like, but he came back and beat. I was like, "Nah, you just gonna let him beat him up?" He came back at the
yeah.
end. Okay.
It's my dog. I had to make sure he was, he was ready for it.
Hey,
To
hey,
make
you
sure he's ready.
man, you played that one point so great when you was getting shot at and you came back. It was like you could just feel the adrenaline in you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, that was a fun night, bro. We did that in the Bronx. It was crazy too, because we did that night was in the Bronx. It was freezing cold, bro. It was freezing, and like the people in the buildings was mad as hell because like it was making a lot of noise. You know what I'm saying? So like they was screaming like, "Yo, shut up! Get the fuck out of here! Get
shut
out my
up,
block!
be
Yeah,
quiet,
you
leave
gotta go
us
to
the
sleep." Yeah, you trying to shoot a show. It was crazy, bro.